So who was I? Who was I without my job, without a title, without some kind of definer that actually gave me my meaning, that gave me my worth? Here I had been a visual effects artist, and then I was taking chunks of time off in between. And when I would take those chunks of time off, it's like, well, who am I if I'm not doing my job, if I'm not actually working every single day? And when I started out in my career, I remember that I met this other fellow visual effects artist, and he would save up money. So he would work crazy, crazy, crazy hours and then save up that money and then take chunks of time off in between. And he would just go as long as he possibly could until the money ran out, and then he would pick up work again. And I remembered seeing this thinking, that's the kind of thing I want to do, is be able to take off these chunks of time. But when I met him the first time, I remember thinking, you don't have a job? Ugh. You know, it was like right away there was a judgment in him not having work. And like, oh, who are you then? You're a bum? Like, you don't have work? But as I explored this idea of defining myself, I saw that in me too. That here I went from having work every single day, and then I took time off. Now, for myself, I always had it lined up where I would just take a few months off and then I would have work again. So I always pretty much knew where I was going or what would be next. And in that, I still felt like I was a visual effects artist. I'm just taking a chunk of time off. But how then do you shift from this idea of your job is your worth, is what defines you? Because when I had downtime and I wasn't working, I also felt pretty worthless. You know, like, who am I? I don't have a job every day. I'm going in and creating. Like, I'm sitting here, watching TV or something, watching Netflix. Like, who am I? And so, exploring this idea in yourself that taking away the titles, taking away the achievements, taking away the status, what defines you on the inside? And if you look in the dialog box below, I have a link to needs and values list, which comes from Nonviolent Communication. But it's a list of these values that we all have within us. And that value is things like love, community, connection, things that we all want. Now, we can have varying degrees of what we want, where one person might really want security, safety, comfort, and another person might want love and community. And so it's like we all have varying degrees of this feeling of what we want inside of us. But what you can do is you can also look at this list and you can define yourself through your values. You can start to look at who am I as a being, as a person. And that is who you be. Rather than I'm defined by this thing outside of me, by this title, oh, I'm a visual effects artist. Well, what would a visual effects artist look like? Well, I'm creative. Okay. I have a stable job which has allowed me time off, you know, from time to time, at least for myself, where I know there's others that it's like they're a visual effects artist and they haven't had any time off and they're just always perpetually working. So, what values actually define you? Like, I can go around and say, oh, there's all these different visual effects artists, but we're all going to be different. We're not the same. And while it might look on the outside that, oh, I'm creative, I work in this high-end, you know, industry, film industry, oh, well, that gives me some kind of worth, right? Well, it depends on how people define it. You know, it's all subjective. So coming back and redefining who you are, not just based on your titles, these achievements that you've accomplished, these things, but who are you really on the inside? And who do you want to be? For myself, I know that I want to be a presence that is loving, that is warm, that is connecting, and that actually is acceptance of others, that sees others for who they are. So, in wanting that and in being that, it's opening up for me to see and accept, and it's allowing me to really step into that rather than just saying, oh, I'm a visual effects artist. Like it shifts and changes my energy then, and then who I am. And I say it shifts and changes my energy, but it's me really going, yeah, I see this as who I am and then who I really do want to be. So it's not just going, oh, I want these things and then believing that you are it. It's kind of really seeing it in yourself and then going, yes, like this lights me up. This lights me up to be loving, to be warmth and nurturing to others. And it lights me up to be this. So again, in the dialog box below, you'll see there's a free link for the NVC, Nonviolent Communication Needs and Values list. And that will help you look at and see on this list which ones resonate with you and who you really want to be. And yes, you can go through the list and say, I want all of them, but in wanting all of them or being all of them, then you are none of them. So go through and really see which ones light you up, which ones really connect with you. Do a couple, or choose a couple and then daily be like, this is my value. This is who I am today. This is the presence that I bring to others and to the world and to myself, like who I am in me. So thank you guys for joining me today. If you are enjoying and getting value out of these videos, do hit that like, share, and subscribe. And thank you again. I'll see you in the next video.